Every day, you throw something away, a banana peel, a plastic cup, a box from Amazon, and you probably never think about it again. But what if we threw it all into a volcano? Not just your trash, everyone's. Every bottle, every diaper, every dead iPhone. Would it melt away forever? Or would we accidentally trigger the biggest explosion in human history? Where this idea came from and why it's not that stupid. Let's be honest. At some point, you've probably looked at a volcano and thought, hey, that's just a giant, steaming trash incinerator, right? No landfills, no ocean pollution, no recycling confusion. Just dump it in and watch it burn. In fact, some people have seriously suggested this, and on paper, it sounds kind of genius, because volcanoes are nature's way of destroying things violently and permanently. But here's the problem. Volcanoes don't work like your backyard bonfire. They're not just hot, they're unstable, unpredictable, and very temperamental. And if you mess with them the wrong way, you don't just destroy garbage, you might destroy everything else too. So, what would actually happen if we threw trash into a volcano? Here's what most people get wrong. Just because volcanoes are hot doesn't mean they're good at burning things safely. For example, say you throw a bag of mixed garbage into an active volcano. Plastic, metal, electronics, food waste, the works. The plastic instantly melts, but it also releases toxic fumes, dioxins and furans, into the air. The metals, they don't burn, they just sink and stay in the lava, possibly altering its chemistry. And the organic trash, it combusts fast, but in doing so, releases gases like methane and carbon monoxide, potentially triggering violent explosions. Because remember, volcanoes already have pressure built up inside. Adding extra combustible materials, it's like pouring lighter fluid on a pressure cooker. And in places like Mount Etna, where lava lakes bubble near cities, one wrong dump of trash could endanger thousands of lives. So no, it wouldn't just disappear. It would create a new kind of disaster. What about dormant or underwater volcanoes? Okay, let's say we avoid the explosive active volcanoes. What if we use dormant ones? Or better, the underwater volcanoes hidden deep beneath the ocean. Sounds clever, until you realize two major problems. Problem number one, dormant does not equal dead. Dormant volcanoes are still alive. They're just sleeping, and throwing tons of garbage, especially chemical and industrial waste, could reawaken them by altering internal pressure or triggering seismic shifts. You wouldn't be throwing trash into a hole. You'd be poking a sleeping dragon with a stick made of batteries and banana peels. Problem number two, underwater equals even worse. Dumping garbage into underwater volcanoes adds pressure to already fragile ecosystems. Plus, when trash burns underwater, it creates toxic plumes of steam and gas that can suffocate marine life for miles. And don't forget, most of our garbage isn't just paper and food scraps. It's plastic, rubber, electronics, filled with heavy metals. So you're not just hurting the volcano, you're poisoning the ocean around it. This isn't just science fiction. A 2002 experiment near Tonga showed how small volcanic gas reactions underwater led to mass fish die-offs. The conclusion? Using volcanoes as trash cans would backfire spectacularly, on land or underwater. So why do people even think this would work? Honestly, because on the surface, it makes sense. Volcano equals hot garbage equals needs to be destroyed. So throw the trash in and let nature do the work, right? Even some scientists in the past briefly explored the idea, especially during the Cold War, when nuclear waste disposal became a crisis. But here's what those early proposals missed. Temperature alone doesn't guarantee full destruction. Most trash, especially plastics, electronics, and chemicals, require controlled environments to burn cleanly. Volcanoes don't offer that. No off switch. Once garbage causes a reaction inside a volcano, there's no emergency brake. No one can crawl in and say, oops, let's take that lithium battery back. It's not scalable. Even if it did work for a few tons of trash, we produce over 2 billion tons of waste every year globally. That's 365 Eiffel Towers worth of trash. Good luck hauling that up a volcano every day. And here's the kicker. Every moment we spend thinking about sci-fi garbage solutions is a moment we're not building real ones. So, what should we do with all this trash? Let's be real. Volcanoes aren't the problem. We are. We created the systems that turn every product into waste. We package things to be thrown away instead of reused. We chase convenience, even if it means more landfills. And we treat trash like it disappears when the truck drives off, when really it just becomes someone else's problem. So no, we can't throw garbage into volcanoes. But maybe it's time we stop looking for magic solutions and start fixing the system that makes garbage in the first place. Because the real incinerator isn't inside a volcano, it's in our daily decisions. If this video sparked even a single thought in your mind, consider subscribing, because every new subscriber funds the next video and helps more people understand the world we're burning through. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.